Hey guys, Jennifer here with the Family Fudge, and welcome back to Bunches of Lunches. If this is your first time here, welcome. On this channel, I share a ton of fun lunch ideas for kids every single week. But this week is a little bit different because I decided to do an extreme budget challenge. For this challenge, I'm going to be making an entire week's worth of lunches for my 4 kids. And it's my goal to spend less than $1 per lunch. So that means I need to make 28 lunches for less than $28. Now, usually to save money, I like to shop at Aldi, but since I know not everyone has an Aldi, I decided to go to Walmart instead. And I'll go ahead and put my exact shopping list in the description box below so that if you want to do this budget lunch challenge, you can. So here's what I ended up picking up for lunches of this week. I picked up 1 loaf of wheat bread. This was 84 cents. I bought 1 pack of tortillas. This was $1.33. I bought 1 box of knockoff Ritz crackers. These were $1.98. I also got a box of pancake mix. This was only $1.64. I also picked up 2 boxes of mac and cheese. These were only 34 cents each, which I was super surprised about. I also picked up some lunch meat. This is Black Forest ham. This was $2.48. I bought 1 pack of turkey pepperoni. This was $2.63. And then I also bought 1 dozen eggs, and these were only 68 cents, which I thought was a very good deal. Next is the cheese. Now I only bought 1 pack of cheese. This was $1.98. And I also picked up some peach yogurt. I'm only going to need 3 of these cups for the lunches, so that comes to 96 cents. I bought a small container of peanut butter for $1.58. A pineapple for $1.98. Some applesauce for $1.98. I picked up just 4 bananas. These were 20 cents each. I picked up 2 navel oranges for $1.24. 1 head of broccoli for $1.17. A can of corn for 50 cents. A bag of carrots for 98 cents. I got 1 regular cucumber for 74 cents. And finally, 1 bag of ranch flavored veggie straws for $1.98. Now overall, I think this is a pretty good amount of food for the amount of money I spent. I would love to know in the comments down below how these prices are compared to where you're at. Now that brings me to a grand total of $28.28 plus tax. But you guys, I have to admit I made a huge rookie mistake when I was shopping for this lunch challenge. Before I went to the store, I already had my list and I pretty much knew how much everything was going to be. So I was a little bit surprised at the register when the total came to $29.25. And it wasn't until I got home when I took a closer look at my receipt that I realized I was actually charged for 2 packages of pepperoni when I only got 1. And I wasn't charged for the applesauce at all. It's like nowhere on my receipt. Now before we get started, I would love it if you would hit that red subscribe button and go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you'd like to see more budget lunch ideas in the future. And now let's get on to the lunches. Hey guys, and welcome to Monday. Now this entire week my kids are going to be having their lunches at home, and since I know I'm probably going to get a lot of questions about these trays, I thought I'd go ahead and let you know that these are called Replay plates and I got them on Amazon. Hashtag not sponsored. I really like these trays because they're super deep so they can hold lots of different kinds of food. They come in super fun colors and they're actually made with recycled milk jugs, so they're kind of eco-friendly too. So for today's main course, I'm going to be putting together some pizza quesadillas. So I'm just taking 1 tortilla and I'm adding 1 slice of cheese. I'm just breaking this up. Now normally I would add more cheese than this, but since these are budget lunches, I'm going to stick with just 1 slice. But then when it comes to the pepperoni, I have plenty of pepperoni. I don't need to skimp on that at all. I am going to be using pepperoni in a lunch later this week, but I know I can go ahead and use half of this bag today for the lunches. So I'm really going to be piling on the pepperoni. For the kids' fruit today, I'm going to go ahead and add plenty of applesauce. This is just good old plain unsweetened applesauce. And for just $1.98, you actually get a lot. So I'm going to be able to put applesauce in several of the lunches of this week. Next, for the veggies, I'm going to add in some cucumber. And normally I would pick up an English cucumber. And those are usually about $1.30. But to save money this week, I went ahead and just got a regular cucumber. These were only 74 cents. But I know that the skin on these can be kind of tough, so I did go ahead and peel all of the skin off. Then I used my crinkle cutter like I normally would with cucumbers. And to go along with these, I'm also going to be adding in a few carrots. And to check it out, you guys, this is actually a pretty good amount of food for less than $1 per lunch. And I want you guys to keep in mind that I'm just making lunch in this video. A lot of times in my videos, I'll also add in a snack and a treat and a drink. But for this entire week, we're just focusing on lunch. Hey guys, and happy Tuesday! For today's lunch, I'm planning something that's pretty classic, but I'm still gonna make it cute, and most importantly, it's going to be on budget. For the kids' main course, I'm going to be making them a sandwich using this wheat bread. Now, I do have to say that this isn't my favorite budget bread, but overall, for just 84 cents, this is pretty good. Okay guys, now here comes the controversial part. Now, technically, I did not buy mayonnaise in my grocery haul. It definitely wouldn't have been in my budget. But since I already have some on hand, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit to the sandwiches today. It's kind of cheating, but I'm okay with it. And the same thing goes for the mustard. I already have it on hand, so I'm just going to be adding a little bit into Miss Lily's because she's the only one who likes mustard. Next comes the ham, and I already know that I am going to need ham for one of the lunches later in the week. So I'm going to go ahead and split this ham in half right now. I'll use half of it in today's sandwiches, and I'll put the other half back in the fridge. Next, I'm going to top each sandwich with one slice of cheese, and then close them up. And then finally, to make these sandwiches a little bit more fun without wasting any of the sandwich, I'm gonna go ahead and use a star cutter and a heart cutter in the center, just like this. And the idea is that the kids can eat the outside of the sandwich and the inside of the sandwich. So you still have a really fun shape, but none of it gets wasted. Now for today's fruit, I'm going to go ahead and cut up this pineapple. One of the reasons I decided on pineapple is because you actually get quite a lot of fruit for just a little bit of money. In fact, this is going to be enough fruit for today's lunch and for lunch later on in the week. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the top off of this one. And I am going to save the top because here in Florida, you can actually plant and grow pineapples pretty easily. Then for the rest of the pineapple, I'm just going to use my spiral cutter like this. And I'm going to go ahead and pack away half of this pineapple right now so that I can save it for a lunch later in the week. So we have the sandwich, we have the fruit. For the veggie, I'm just going to add in some baby carrots. I did go ahead and slice these in half. And then to finish off this lunch, I'm also going to give each kid a handful of these veggie straws. This is a huge bag of veggie straws, and I think it's enough to last us the entire week. So here we have Mackenzie and Griffin's lunches. And here are Lily and Jackson's lunches. And if we have any leftovers at all, I will definitely be putting those in a container and saving them in the fridge for later. Hey guys, and welcome to Wednesday. For today's lunch, I'm going to be making one of the kids' favorites, which is mac and cheese. Now, normally I like to buy the Annie's brand of mac and cheese, and at Walmart, those are about $1 a box. But this week, instead, I decided to go with the Walmart brand of mac and cheese. This is only 34 cents a box, and I opted to get the thick and creamy version because that sounded good to me. Now, each one of these boxes say that it has 3 servings, and I have 4 kids. So I'm gonna go ahead and make up 2 entire boxes, and if I have any leftovers, I'll just put them in the fridge for later. Okay guys, so now that I have the macaroni noodles cooked, it's time to add in the cheese. Now I've heard that if you're on a budget, you can actually make mac and cheese without the milk and the butter. You just add in the powder. So that's what I'm going to try first. I'll just dump in this cheese powder and give it a good stir. But honestly, you guys, I can see that this cheese is not really incorporating very well. It's super clumpy and my kids are not gonna like it this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in a little bit of milk and butter like you're supposed to. There, now that mac and cheese looks a lot better. Now, the box states that the serving size on this mac and cheese is 1 cup, so I'm actually measuring exactly 1 cup on these plates, but as you can see, that's actually a lot of mac and cheese. So for my big kids, I'll go ahead and give them a full cup of mac and cheese, but for my little kids, I'll probably give them a little bit less. For the fruit today, I'm going to be taking these 2 navel oranges, and I'm going to be cutting them into orange smiles. My kids love these, and cutting them this way makes it really easy for them to eat. And then for our veggie today, I'm going to be serving some fresh broccoli. Good afternoon guys and happy Thursday! For today's lunch I'm going to be making something that is super simple that I know the kids are going to love, and for this I'm going to be using the rest of the tortillas. This pack came with 8 tortillas, so that was perfect for 2 lunches for 4 kids. And now to these tortillas I'm going to be adding plenty of peanut butter. Now in order to save a little bit of money, I did go ahead and get the Walmart brand of peanut butter instead of the name brand, but trust me you guys, this peanut butter is actually really tasty. So I'm going to go ahead and spread a good amount onto the tortilla. I want this tortilla to be completely covered, but I don't want to add so much peanut butter that it kind of oozes out when I cut it. Next comes the banana, and these have become perfectly ripe in the last couple of days. So I'm just going to take 1 entire banana and roll it up as tightly as I can in this tortilla. And there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. Now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and just cut these in half and eat them like a wrap, but I'm going to go ahead and slice these into pieces because it looks really cool that way, and then I can call it banana sushi. Now to get some more protein into today's lunch, I'm also going to be adding in some hard-boiled eggs. Now I actually hard-boiled these last night. I went ahead and hard-boiled the entire dozen eggs because I knew I would need some for today and some for later in the week. Some of the eggs I just left plain, and others I stuck into my egg molds while they were still warm. That way they take on these really fun shapes. Sometimes these turn out well and sometimes they don't really work. It's kind of always a surprise when I use these. So now to build these trays, I'm going to add in the banana sushi. Next I'm adding in just half of an egg. I'll season these up with a little bit of salt. For the veggie today, I'm going to be adding in a combination of cucumber and carrots. And then on the side, I'm adding a handful of those ranch flavored veggie straws. Now you guys, this lunch turned out so cute. And because I hard-boiled these eggs the night before, putting this together only took about 5 minutes today. Hey guys, we made it to Friday, and for today's lunch, I am going to go ahead and use up the rest of the hard-boiled eggs to make some delicious egg salad sandwiches. So I'm just going to take my little egg slicer guy here, and what I like to do when I'm making egg salad is cut the eggs going one direction, then I'll actually open up the cutter, turn the egg, and slice it the other direction. That way the pieces of egg in my egg salad aren't too big, but they're also not mushed up either. They're somewhere in between. Now, once I have all of these eggs cut up, I'm gonna bring in a little bit of that cheater mayo again. And I usually don't measure the mayonnaise, I just go by how it looks. Oh yes, and I am going to go ahead and season this up with a little bit of salt and pepper. Now to build these sandwiches, I'm just going to put a good amount of the egg salad on each piece of bread. I'll go ahead and close that up, and then just like the ham and cheese sandwiches, I am going to use a cookie cutter in the center of the sandwich, and this time I'm going with a Mickey shape because we love Mickey Mouse. And the idea is that the kids will be able to eat the inside of the sandwich and the outside. It'll all be good and none will get wasted. For today's fruit, I'm going to be giving the kids some applesauce. I still have plenty of this left, but to change it up a little bit today, I'm going to be sprinkling on a little bit of cinnamon. Again, this is something that I already had in my pantry, but if you don't have cinnamon or if you don't like cinnamon, you could definitely leave this off. Now to go along with this, I'm also going to be adding in some corn. I know my son Jackson will be excited to see this because he loves corn. Now to go along with this, I'm going to get a little bit creative here. It wasn't in my budget this week to buy cookies or extra snacks, so I'm going to create something different with what I already have. I'm just going to take some of these crackers. I'll add a little smear of peanut butter in the center to create some peanut butter sandwich crackers. Then I'm going to fill in this little space here with one piece of broccoli. Kind of random, I know, but since I have a lot of broccoli on hand, I'll go ahead and add it into the lunch. Hey guys, we've made it to Saturday, and for today's lunch I'm making something super simple, and I'm actually going to be using a lot of leftovers from the week as well. Today I'm making some DIY Lunchables, and I really like to use silicone liners to kind of separate out all the different ingredients. Plus I think it makes the lunch look extra cute as well. So in this section, I'm going to be adding in some of these knockoff Ritz crackers. Now I tasted some of these and they're actually a really good cracker. They're not quite as buttery as Ritz crackers are, but they're still really good. Next, I'm going to add in some cheese. I just have 4 slices left, so that's perfect for today. Next, I'm going to be adding in some of that turkey pepperoni. I have quite a bit of this left over from Monday's lunch, so I'll go ahead and add it right in here. And the same thing with the ham. I'll go ahead and fold up 1 or 2 pieces per lunch. For the kids' fruit today, I'm going to give them the rest of the pineapple left over from Tuesday's lunch. It's already cut up and ready to go. And then for their veggie, I'll go ahead and give them the rest of the broccoli. So you guys, this might be one of my favorite lunches from the entire week because pretty much everything was already prepped and ready to go. It was super fast and it came out super cute. Good morning guys and happy Sunday. Now for today's lunch, I'm actually going to be making brunch. So that's breakfast and lunch together. Perfect for a Sunday. Now for today's main course, I'm going to be making some pancakes. This is the type of pancake mix where you just have to add water, so it's super simple and budget friendly since I'm not adding any other ingredients. Now usually my first 1 or 2 pancakes don't come out the best, but that's okay. In the end, I decided to make some Mickey Mouse pancakes, which the kids love and I do too. Now to go along with this, I'm also adding in some peach yogurt. Peach happens to be my kids' favorite yogurt flavor. Personally, I'm a big fan of just plain vanilla yogurt myself. And then to finish off this lunch, I'm also gonna give the kids each the last of the hard-boiled eggs. Oh yes, and because I don't have any syrup, I'm gonna go ahead and spread a little bit of peanut butter on these pancakes instead. Okay guys, now I hope you found this video helpful, and I wanted to let you guys know that I actually had quite a lot of leftovers. I still have bread, crackers, peanut butter, lots of pancake mix, so I was able to make all of the lunches this week, plus I'll still be able to make quite a lot of food with what I have left over. So for the price that I paid, I think that is an excellent deal. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.